In his previous life, he was robbed of the man he loved most by his sister, turned into a grieving spirit to find his sister in this life to take revenge. The car crashed into a tree with just a gentle push of the palm of his hand before the sister had time to react. Her head was crushed and bleeding. The gas tank broke and began to leak oil onto the ground. The sister only vaguely saw her sister's face. Soon the ambulance and police arrived at the scene. The car engine burst into flames at the critical moment. The police rescued the sister from the car, but by this time, she was already dead. The car was about to explode. The police saw a woman in red dressed strangely, told him to leave the scene. However, the woman in red stood there and did not move. With an explosion, the woman in red lost her strength. The policeman thought he had just seen something wrong. Xiaoling suffered a serious head injury and was sent to the rescue room. Yuan Ling pulled her soul into the cave. She stepped on it and put it to death. The family is still anxious. Waiting at the door of the resuscitation room, the spirits choked Ling again with their hands. 100 years of grudge can finally be settled today. As the soul gradually suffocated, the body also lost its vital signs. After her heart stopped beating, the doctor announced her death to her family. The family broke down instantly. The police also wiped their eyes red. Xiaolin had done good deeds during his life. After his death, his soul went to heaven. However, his sister still refused to let him go. She also wanted to break his soul so that his soul would be scattered, never to be reincarnated, to pay for the pain he suffered for 100 years sealed in the demon world. Suffering from this is 100 years ago. The monk who sealed my sister's soul reappeared. The magic of the spirits was dissolved. My sister thought that after she had consumed human blood, she thought she had enough power to fight the monk. However, in front of the monk, it was just a fool's errand. The monk opened a door for Xiaoling. The spirit returned to the body. The nurse was about to cover her with a white cloth. They sent her to the morgue. Xiaolin suddenly and miraculously came back to life. The doctor felt incredible. He had never seen anything like this in his decades of practice. Pai held Lin's hand. After several life and death experiences, this pair of former lovers once again, the flame of love was born. The failed vengeful spirit returned to the cave. The servant advised Missy to give up her revenge because he knew no matter what we can't beat that monk. However, my sister's resentment was very deep. She would not give up her revenge easily. If you want to kill Ling, you have to kill the monk first. The only way to kill the monk is to practice the 9 mysteries. So he found the house of the descendant of the wizard. He stole the scripture. It was 100 years ago. He was imprisoned in the dungeon by his father and practiced the sutra. Back then, he only learned the first page of the incantation. He was able to fight against the monks. If he learned all of them, he could kill the monk. However, the last page of the manual was torn out. Sister was instantly discouraged. But if I learned all the previous incantations plus 1 month later, the night of the red moon absorbs the essence of heaven and earth, you can also kill the monk. Make the spirit retreat for a month to cultivate the incantation. Attracts all kinds of poisonous insects and snakes on the mountain. The high monk felt the mon from the mountain. The ancient magic power was rising rapidly, even overshadowed his own magic power. After Xiaoling recovered, he and Pai came to the mountain to worship Buddha. The memories of the past life suddenly came to mind. It turned out that 100 years ago the prince had made a vow here. He would only love Ling for the rest of his life. After worshipping Buddha, he suddenly encountered a big snake. It opened its bloody mouth and attacked the two of them. Pai fired several shots to repel it. At the critical moment, the monk reappeared. He recognizes the snake as a spirit of evil. The snake did not listen to the advice. It opened its bloody mouth towards the monk again. The devil is 1 foot taller than the monk. Faced with what he thought was the cultivation with the 9 Sutra and the essence of heaven and earth could defeat the monk, but once again, it did not work out as expected. It seems that if he wants to take revenge and kill the monk, we must find the spell on the last page. This is the only way to get revenge. At night, Pai was puzzled. Why are there so many strange things happening lately? Who is the woman in red? In order to guide Pi to unravel the truth, the senior monk in his villa, he opened a door to a cave. Curiosity drove Pi to go inside. What appeared in front of him? What happened in the cave 100 years ago? Pi saw with his own eyes he had stabbed his sister in the heart. His sister asked him why he had killed himself. Pi was dumbfounded. He couldn't remember anything about his past life. Suddenly the woman in red appeared behind him. She grabbed Pi's neck and made him write down his debt. When he was about to suffocate, Face recalls the beautiful moments of their past lives together. They had completed their marriage, but the wedding was not completed. Although 100 years had passed, he still loved him in his heart. I couldn't bear to strangle the man he loved most in his previous life. After releasing his neck, Pi woke up from his sleep. What had just happened seemed like a dream. But his neck was red. He felt a distinct sensation of suffocation. My sister hated herself for being such a loser. He had a chance to kill his killer. But he couldn't do it. I missed a great opportunity.